Hello. Okay, just I have checked that your video is going to be recorded or not. Okay. Uh, so from this lecture, I will record the videos for each uh, lecture. That is, I will make the videos for the half an hour. So for one lecture, there is going to be a two videos we are going to be created, and later on I will see if it is possible to upload it on the YouTube channel. I will going to upload it, or I will provide the link to all of you, so later also you can check. If you miss the some lecture, then you can go for the YouTube channel again, you can review the same one. So if you have any kind of a doubt or any kind of time, many of times you can see that video, and you can later you can ask me if you have any kind of a doubt, or you can revise all the syllabus. Okay, but this is from the um, this this date onwards. If it is possible to record me all the lectures that we have taught into the first chapter, I will check with my time, and if it is possible, then we will going to be record it again. But if it is possible, not a promise I am going to make. Okay, then the operating system structure. Then we know that is the we have the different kinds of the operating system. From the MS DOS, it is also a simple operating system. Then later on we know about the Unix. Then we know about there are the different kinds of layers present in the operating system, and then which types of the kernel is going to be present. So for the today's lecture, we will discuss about only the MS DOS and the Unix. What the operating system having the layered structure approach that is provided into the Microsoft DOS. Okay, so DOS has the very simple structure as compared to the uh, today's operating system like a Linux or the Windows. So Microsoft MS DOS, it is provided by the, obviously it is by the Microsoft operating system. And then basically it is not made for the commercial. Basically when it is going to be invented, it is not, the purpose behind that is nothing but they don't want to make it commercially, because when at the starting point they are going to made it for their purpose or the theirs as their solution. But later on the MS DOS is going to be popular and popular, and it is going to be function at the commercial level. Then also they have not think, or they have not thought about the MS DOS is going to be a very get the big market in the future. Then another point, MS DOS has not based on the any interfaces or the functional or the access levels. Means in the today's modern operating system, you can see there are the many interfaces, functionals are going to be used in the in today's operating system, but MS DOS function has a very simpler one. Then, but we have the limitation for the MS DOS also. The MS DOS is going to be used the chipset as a Intel 8088. So with this Intel chip, the limitation comes for the it cannot work in the dual mode, and there is a no hardware protection is available in Intel 8088. So because of that, we are not going to perform the multi-programming or the multitasking kind of a thing by using the MS-DOS. Simply when we are going to execute the sum of the things in the MS-DOS, only one program can run at a time. If it has the some kind of errors in that, so the MS-DOS is going to throw you error back, and it is going to stop the execution that we have seen. Okay, so in this diagram you can see that MS-DOS is not divided into the modules. We are not having the different modules that is designed for the different purposes. Okay, we have the only one kind of a we can imagine that is nothing but the one kind of a big program is there, and many of the functions are written into that, and that approach is provided by the MS-DOS. Okay, in this diagram at the right hand side, we will go from the bottom one. The ROM BIOS device drivers is present at the bottom one. Then MS-DOS, the operating system required device drivers at the second level. Then the resident system programs, okay, at the third level, and the application program. So we know that what is the mean by the device drivers. Okay, any of you can tell me the use of the device drivers? What is mean by the device drivers? We have seen many times that when we are going to install the operating system, when we are going to install the printer, for that one, when just we will take printer and just we will attach as it is, and your printer is not going to be work. There's some kind of a device drivers we are going to install it for the your printer, then only the printer is going to be work. Okay, so the for each and every hardware devices, to run that hardware devices we require the device drivers. So it is nothing but a small piece of software required to operate that machine or the hardware. So that is nothing but the device drivers. Okay, at the bottom side, okay, I have told you the definition for the device drivers. The ROM BIOS, a read-only memory basic input output system, is present at the end of the structure of the MS-DOS. On the top of that, operating system require device drivers is present, and the resident system programs. What is meant by this resident system program is nothing but the just like a keyboard system program or the monitor. So it is going to be a resident one. So any one of the keyboard, when you are going to attach it to your system, so required device drivers for that keyboard is already resident, already placed in your operating system. So it is called as a resident one. And then on top of that, all the application program that we are going to run in the operating system, that is going to be present on the at the top of the layer. So these all the things can directly communicate one by one. They can also communicate and directly communicate with the ROM BIOS in the MS-DOS operating system. So this is nothing but a simple layered structure for the MS-DOS. Okay, when in the paper, if you any one of the question comes for the MS-DOS layered structure, then you have to, first of all, you have to make this diagram for the 15 minute 5 minute. First of all, you have to make the this diagram, and then you need to go for the explanation. Okay, just a minute. Okay, then we will go for the non-simple structure as for the Unix operating system. So we will first of all see the diagram for the Unix system architecture, and then we will see about the explanation for the Unix system structure. Okay, so we will go from the bottom to top. At the bottom level, kernel interface to the hardware is present. Okay, means these all the drivers are required for to operate in the kernel mode, and whereas these all the things required for the user mode operation. Okay, in the kernel interface to the hardware, the terminal terminal controller is there, then device controller is there, then memory controllers are there. Means these are nothing but the simple we are not going to say it is just like a simple, but it is a simple or complex software or the codes that handle terminals, disk tapes, and the memory. Means all the things related to that one, that is handled by that software or the code, that is nothing but the that is present at the this one. Then this is about the kernel. The kernel, we can simply say it is as a heart of the operating system. So there are the different types of the kernel. We will see into the next point, monolithic kernel and the microkernel. What is the difference between them? We will see it. Okay, in the kernel area, just a minute. Okay, in the kernel area, signal terminal handling, character input output system, terminal drivers are there. Means if any kind of a signal is going to be cached by these all the thing, then file system, block input output system, disk type is it is going to be handled by the kernel. And then the CPU scheduling, page replacement, demand paging, virtual memory, these all the concepts means are run under the kernel area or by the kernel. So we can simply say the kernel is nothing but the heart of the operating system, and the user is present here, and user is going to interact with the Unix operating system by the shell and the commands, compiler and interpreter, and by using the system libraries. So this is the structure for the Unix operating system, whereas the kernel is present to handle these all the things, and this is the kernel interface to the hardware. Okay, so when there is a question about the your traditional Unix system architecture, you have to make this architecture and you have to explain it by using the diagram. Okay, we'll see this point. The Unix limited by the hardware functionality. Actually, Linux operating system is derived by the Unix operating system. So when Linux comes, basically they have taken the Unix and they have modified them. So Unix is the uh, architecture used for the Linux operating system. Then Unix operating system consists of the two separable parts. The first one is the system programs, okay, and the second one is the kernel. Means we have the two dividation or the two parts in the Unix operating system, system program and the kernel. Whereas the kernel consists of the system call interface to the physical hardware. When we are going to access the hardware, that is we are going to execute by the kernel in the kernel area. And the another one provides the file system, CPU scheduling, memory management, all of the operating system function, large number of function for the one level. Okay, so these are the tasks for the kernel, and the simply the system programs. So up to this one where we will stop it here. Okay, in the next lecture we will see about the microkernel. This is the one of the type of the kernel, then which kind of a modules are present. Okay, we'll see all the not points are included in your syllabus. We'll see into the uh, types of the operating kernel and the remaining points into next lecture. Okay, up to this one, if you have any doubt, then you can ask me. Up to this point, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay. सायली,
हा सर.
काही डाऊट आहे का?
नाही सर, समजलंय सगळं.
ओके. स्वप्नाली.
नाही सर.
Okay, letterwords. After some time, I will check also to upload these videos on YouTube channel, and if it happens, then I will share you also the link, so you can go day by day to the all the lectures. Okay, and again you can review all the things. Vaishnavi,
येस सर.
डाऊट आहे का काय?
नाही सर, समजतंय.
Okay, the main thing is here, that is nothing but the uh, structure for the operating system. We have seen the two operating system structure, that is for the MS DOS, and the second one is for the Unix operating system. In both these 2 points we are having the two diagrams. So these two diagrams are very important to remember, and when there is any questioning related to this one, so you have to draw the diagram and you have to explain the thing there. Then we have understood the another important concept as a swapping and the virtual memory. uh, in today's days you will not get the message like a low virtual memory, because nowadays the RAM comes with the very high size or the high memory size, because the many of the RAMs comes with the 2 GB, 4 GB. And now today's days also in mobile device we have the 4 GB of RAM, 3 GB of RAM, 2 GB of RAM. So you will, in today's days you will not get the any kind of message like a low virtual memory. But when there is a only 500 MB of RAM or 250 MB of RAM, at that era you will get the message like low virtual memory or low virtual space is there. So you need to remember the concept like a swapping or the uh, virtual memory, so it will be helpful for you to remember that one. So I think we have discussed about some practical list also. So if possible in tomorrow's lecture we will go for the some kind of a practical, then you can perform that also from your home. I have shown you how to execute the commands online. Okay, we will check that also in the next lecture. For today's we'll stop it here. Okay, if you have any doubt you can ask me, or the any query, other query regarding your syllabus or anything you can ask me. सायली बाकीचे काय प्रॉब्लेम आहेत का काय?
नाही सर.